Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we delve into the most fascinating stories of the past. I'm your host, Herodotus, and I'm thrilled to continue our series, The Lincoln-Douglas Debates. Today's episode, Episode 5. Jonesboro and Charleston transports you to a pivotal moment in American history, as Abraham Lincoln and Stephen Douglas clashed in two critical debates that would shape the future of the Union. As we journey to the town of Jonesboro, Illinois, we find ourselves in the midst of a heated campaign season. The air is thick with tension as thousands of people gather to witness the fifth debate between Lincoln and Douglas. On September 15, 1858, these two titans of American politics took to the stage, ready to engage in a battle of wits and ideas that would leave a lasting impression on the audience. In Jonesboro, Lincoln found himself on friendly terrain, as the crowd was largely composed of supporters who shared his opposition to the expansion of slavery. Douglas, however, was undaunted, using the opportunity to reiterate his popular sovereignty doctrine and argue that the people of each territory should be free to decide for themselves whether to allow slavery or not. Lincoln, sensing an opening, pounced on this argument, pointing out the inherent contradictions in Douglas's position and highlighting the dangers of allowing slavery to spread into new territories. As the debate progressed, it became clear that Lincoln was gaining momentum, his arguments resonating deeply with the crowd. Douglas, on the other hand, found himself struggling to defend his position against Lincoln's relentless attacks. The audience, sensing a shift in the balance of power, began to rally behind Lincoln, cheering his impassioned pleas for freedom and equality. Just a few days later, on September 18, 1858, the two candidates faced off again, this time in the town of Charleston, Illinois. Here, Douglas found himself on more hostile terrain, as the crowd was largely composed of Lincoln supporters who were eager to see their champion take down the incumbent senator. Undaunted, Douglas launched a fierce attack on Lincoln's position, arguing that his opponent's opposition to slavery was nothing more than a thinly veiled attempt to impose his own moral values on the rest of the country. Lincoln, however, was ready for this challenge, using the opportunity to reiterate his commitment to freedom and equality. He argued that the expansion of slavery was not only morally wrong, but also threatened the very foundations of the Republic, and that it was the duty of all Americans to prevent its spread. The crowd, won over by Lincoln's passion and conviction, erupted into cheers, sensing that they were witnessing something truly historic. As we reflect on these two debates, it becomes clear that Lincoln's strategy was paying off. By exposing the contradictions in Douglas's popular sovereignty doctrine and highlighting the dangers of slavery, he was able to gain the upper hand in the campaign. The audiences in Jonesboro and Charleston had been won over by his impassioned pleas for freedom and equality, and it seemed increasingly likely that he would emerge victorious in the election. That's all for today. Join us next time on History with Herodotus, as we continue our series on the Lincoln-Douglas debates with Episode 6, Galesburg and Quincy.